Welcome back to another episode of King's Chat. I'm Josh.
And this is Tony.
And we got a conversation for kings. Let's go.
Yes, sir. Today, Josh, we have two very interesting topics.
What you talking about, Tony?
You know what happened this week. Let's start off today with the Uncle Shay Shay viral moment. Yeah.
Man, I saw that and I was like, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, I know he didn't get hacked.
Why?
It's too difficult to hack it.
Okay.
Like, it's a 2-step process to go live.
2 steps?
Yeah, it's 2 steps.
I was told it was more than that, but
it's at least 2 steps.
Okay.
I ain't got enough people on there to go live, so y'all got to follow that. Y'all got to follow us on IG too, so maybe we can accidentally go live sometime too. And so,
accidentally,
right? So like, he would have had to hit that button twice to accidentally go live. And so I think, did he end up coming out saying that it wasn't an accident? He just hit the button.
And see, I've seen sites where it's stating that, but I think that's clickbait so that you'll go on there and see. But I haven't heard him officially say that he didn't get hacked. And see, I'm gonna side with the naive people, because I'm looking at it like, man, people is scamming and getting your information all kind of ways. Why couldn't this IG got hacked? So, and I'm not, listen, man, I'm not familiar with IG Live. I've never went live. So, like you said, I don't know what the process is. So,
I like to pretend like I'm going live, but I don't ever go live. But I know it's a couple steps. It's a couple steps. Yeah, it's at least 2.
So, you saying that it had to be to a certain extent staged?
Look, Unc, if you see this, I'm still on your team. But yeah, so like there's been I think the reason that it happened is because people have been saying a whole lot of stuff. They've been questioning, his manhood, questioning whether or not he is gay or straight and that sort of thing. And I've always been of the belief like, yeah, his dress is a little different. He dressed a little different. He had his ankles out and that sort of thing. So some people are like, it's questionable.
Yeah, I'm about to say some of the outfits that I've seen him in, I wouldn't wear. But again, that's everybody's taste is different.
It's style. You mix it up. Occasionally you catch me on a Friday, my ankles are out.
Okay.
And that sort of thing. But does it make me gay?
No, I wouldn't say so. And see, this is the thing though, Josh. Okay, we talking about dress because this is almost pivoted into a whole another conversation. And that conversation is, what do we deem masculine or not masculine? Because us growing up, men didn't paint their fingernails.
They didn't.
Nowadays, from what my understanding is, if you paint your fingernails as a man and you wear fingernail polish, that doesn't necessarily qualify you as gay. That's just something that this younger crowd is doing, and to a certain extent, us being a little older, we showing our age.
They say we old heads.
Yeah, we old because what we deem as used to be taboo is no longer taboo now. Again,
we used to wear baggy clothes.
True.
Now they wear skinnies.
True.
And everything's fitted, straight leg.
But again, if we going back to what you were talking about with Shannon, as far as his dress seemed to be a little, as the new word today too is zesty. Yeah.
And so people got questions.
And I ain't gonna even say that's a new word, but it's the way it's been termed and coined today. Yeah, everybody is zesty if they don't fit a particular quote unquote again masculine role.
And so that's what's being questioned, and so. That's why I think he hit that button as many times as he had to hit it. I don't blame you, Unc. I'd hit that button too.
So with that being said, then,
we can't even play the audio on here, boy. That audio was wild.
Yeah, but and that's the thing too, because I'm like, with that being said, the young lady or the woman that's on the audio, she's had to sign off on this too. Like, okay, this is cool. I don't have no problem. Because, again, in today's society, especially with a high-profile celebrity, they got, people signing all kind of NDAs.
NDAs, you want this check?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think he would do something to this level to try to dispel a rumor. Especially, it's one of them situations, too, where he's of the cloth where it's like, if it's not true, I ain't about to keep chasing a lie just to make you people feel comfortable or get you to think about me in a different way.
I believe
when I know
that.
it's not true.
I believe that, but you also saw him go viral, and he made more money from going viral than he never made in his football career, right?
But this is the thing too.
It's part of the business.
But this is the thing as well. The viral moment, and it's saying we caught him. How do we even know he was really doing that? He could be in the background with the young lady, whoever it was, just making noises.
Hey, if you're trending, you're trending.
Again, so
It don't matter if it's good or bad.
How does
Good
that really
press,
dispel?
bad press, it's all press.
But I'm saying, how would that truly dispel? Now, if we actually saw visual footage, and I'm like, oh wow, there's no denying that. But we never saw him. We never saw who he was with.
It sounded
all
like
we
he
heard was sounds.
Hey, all I heard was sound like he was putting on a performance.
Okay. And what was funny is listening.
Let Ocho tell it.
Listening to other people, I'm like,
Let Ocho
in all
tell it.
actuality, it didn't sound as raunchy as it could have been. Or I'm not gonna say it didn't even sound all the way authentic because there was no.
Yeah, what? Yeah. Well, he's a certain age, like.
Bro, you see how big that dude is? You mean to tell me
he got slow grinding?
Nah,
he got slow grinding.
Nah, he was sounding all the grunt. Nah, ain't no slow grind.
He said he was growling in his growling in the tongue. He said,
and I'm not trying to.
Oh shoot!
No Diddy.
Oh,
I'm not
man.
trying to
But he said, pause.
impede on your bedroom
Man.
tactics. But you mean to tell me when you slow grind and you growling? Nah,
Man.
bruh.
Man, that's why everybody. What's the lady's name?
Not buying
I can't even think of her name right now. Chick he was with.
Oh, what you mean? He was actually dating, or
Yeah, that he was with. That everybody said they found in a matter of seconds.
Oh, Michelle. Whatever.
Michelle,
Yeah,
that's it.
Michelle.
So everybody's saying that the fact that Unc was in there growling, that Michelle had to have that snapper.
And that might be true, but again, it ain't no slow grind. And the comments that he made, because it was one that had me dying when he said, "What you doing all that running? I ain't no track coach."
Yeah, one of the voiceovers said that. Yeah, I ain't no track coach.
So you slow grinding and she running from you? No, sir.
Man.
No, sir.
Yeah. Look, Unc, I hope it was real. I'm on your side, Unc. Do whatever you got to do. Get them trends up.
But and that's the funny thing. I was like, what's the safest way to go viral but not be totally embarrassed? Because I'm like, you don't see nothing. I'm like, people getting all riled up. Like, oh, you hear him? And I'm like, bro,
did you
anybody can be in the background making
that noise.
Voices.
Did you see the clickbait though when they were like, said the wood? They were just showing the floor.
Oh,
Talking about the wood floor. I was talking about Unc laying the wood. And I'm like, come on, man. But yeah, it leaked. And yeah, I think it was multiple things. I think he's used to going viral. And it's like, if you don't have a scandal or some sort, something that leaks that looks like you weren't ready for it as a celebrity and stuff, at some point you're going to have that. And I think that a lot more people are developing what I call the 50 Cent strategy. 50 is a genius when it comes to marketing. So it's like, whatever it is, if you're trending, you're trending. It's all positive, even if it's beef.
Yeah.
And so,
unfortunately,
right. And so I think some of this was that clearing the air. You know,
like I said,
not for everybody. Like it's either you're convinced or you're not, right? Like we already were on Unc's side thinking Unc's straight,
right?
And that sort of thing. And so either you're convinced or you're not. But I'm like, it happened. But I know it take a couple buttons pushes Unc. I still would have done it too. And like, I think what everybody else is not thinking about too is like, what does this do for that lady? Like, this could possibly be her 15 minutes of fame, just off some sounds.
But like he said too, just because you think you know who it is, you really don't know who it is.
Hey, whoever we believe that it is, Michelle, like, this is your time while you got the spotlight.
Man,
and stuff.
Strike while the iron is hot.
Hey, old girl said hop to her. Michelle made some sounds.
Boy.
And so I'm saying, this your 15 minutes if you want to get that bag for yourself.
Yeah.
So like, it was wild. The call from Cat Williams.
Again, really, that's who you gonna mention as far as The first person you
Why?
say what your
Because he went viral with Cat.
That's true.
So he
That's
said Cat
true.
called him on the phone.
So at least you not gay today. Well, I
Yeah,
guess you not gay
gay
today. So
I can hear Cat saying that. I
Yeah,
guess you're not
man.
gay today. But yeah, so yeah, Uncle's trending. He was trending. I didn't see it until like the following morning. I was like, okay, what's this about? And it was all just everywhere. And then you give it a day, and everybody's making their own versions of it.
Yeah, hey, Twitter. Sorry, Black Twitter.
Yeah,
That's all they needed. That was all the fuel they needed for the day and the rest of the week and whatever else. Because like I said, every time I check my timeline, number one trending topic was Shannon Sharpe, Shay. I'm just like, bruh.
he's figuring out that algorithm.
I'm gonna tell you, I was in the midst of doing my tribute to Frankie Beverly, and then the next thing you know, I see all of these memes coming through. I'm like, what is going on? Oh, wow. Uncton went viral.
Man, we lost James Earl Jones.
Frankie Beverly, I said. And then they threw this whole distraction of the Shannon Sharpe situation in our face. I'm like, man.
They did.
Let me finish giving Frankie Beverly and James Earl their flowers.
Shout out to the legends.
The legends.
Man.
Yeah. So I want to just go to this next topic. This Tyreke Hill situation.
Yes,
now,
sir.
We always talk about somebody having an expert opinion or somebody being, what you say, savant or, you know, someone who's truly in the know of certain situations. Now, as a black man in America, we pretty much understand there are certain rules and codes that we have to move by that nobody else has to. Now, with this situation of Tyreek, you know, getting pulled over, and truly understanding what we see in this body cam footage, I think it's best that since you are a former police officer,
yes, I am,
you give us a thorough breakdown as we go through the video, and I ask certain questions of what should or what shouldn't be done at said given time.
I got you. I
All
got
right.
you.
We can go ahead and get it rolling,
thank
man.
you for the alley, because I'm about to plug my book too.
Yeah, let's
hey,
get
if
it.
you ain't got my book,
Let's get it.
that talks about me being a police officer, it's called Inside the Black and White: Police Secrets, Lies, and
See that
Brutality.
look?
I caught it too. I caught it. Get my book. It's on Amazon. I'll put it in the link with this
What's it
video.
called again, one more time?
Inside the Black and White:
Inside
Police
the
Secrets,
Black and White.
Lies, and Brutality. So I tell you everything from when I was a police officer, tell you all the secrets, that sort of thing. I tell you some encounters, how you can improve your experience with the police. And so we're going to talk about, after we show this little short clip, what Tyreek could or couldn't have done.
It's 10:17 a.m. when a Miami-Dade motorcycle officer sees a black McLaren westbound on Northwest 199th Street speeding toward him. Behind the wheel, they would soon learn, Tyreke Hill.
We're going to let this
One
clip
officer moves
fully
in
ride
behind
out.
the
It's
sports
about
car,
2 minutes
and seconds
and
later,
50
a
seconds,
colleague's
and then,
camera
like I
captures them
said,
coming
we'll
toward
go back
him.
from the beginning
His radar
and
registering more
kinda
than
try to
60 miles an
figure out
hour
again
in a
what
40.
should and what shouldn't have been done at said given times
30
in the
seconds
video.
after being spotted, Hill pulls over and remarks about the officer tapping his car window.
Hey, don't knock on my window like that, man.
Why don't you have your seatbelt on?
Don't knock on my window.
Why don't you have your seatbelt
Knock
on?
on my window like that, no.
The back and forth about the window lasts another 10 seconds.
Get my ticket, bro, so I can go. I'm finna be late, gang. Do what you gotta do.
Keep it down. Hey! Keep your window down.
About 10 seconds after that, the officer has had enough.
Window down, I'm gonna get you out of the car. As a matter of fact, get out of the car.
Give me that.
Get out of the car.
Give me that. We'll break that freaking window.
Get out of the car. Get out of the car right now. We're not playing this game. Get out.
At 10:19, less than a minute into the stop, an officer forcibly removes Hill from the car.
What part of that don't you understand? Hey, Drew, I'm getting arrested, Drew.
He says to his agent Drew Rosenhaus over his phone.
Bro, god damn, twin. When we tell you to do something, you do it. You understand?
I'm getting out,
You
bro.
understand? Not what you want, but what we tell you.
I'm getting
You're a little
out.
confused.
I'm getting out, bro.
Too late.
Chill,
Too
bro.
late.
He
All right,
bad.
bro, take
Too
me to
late.
jail, bro. Do what you gotta do, bro.
We are. We will.
Good, bro.
By 10:20, after being told to have a seat, Another officer moves in to force him to the ground.
I just had surgery on my knee. I just had surgery on my knee, bro. I just had surgery on my knee, bro. I just had surgery in your ears when we come there. Put your window down.
Surgery in your ears.
At least one of the officers did not know who he was detaining.
You know who that is, right? Huh? You know who that is? No? It's one of the Dolphins' star players.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, that's why it's such a big thing.
It grew into a bigger thing after teammates approached and officers warned them off.
Put your hands behind your back.
At
Yeah,
10:24,
gotta put that big boy
detaining
in
one of
cuffs.
them, Calais Campbell, because he did not leave the scene as ordered. So with two Dolphins cuffed, higher-ups got to the scene, and by 10:38, 20 minutes after he was pulled over, the handcuffs come off of Hill, as they did for Campbell. Hill, the only one cited.
Speeding? Yeah, I hit him with careless.
Okay.
Visual estimation, 60 miles an hour.
All right.
So that's what he's getting there. Careless driving and that's it, Bill.
A ticket for careless driving and for not wearing a seatbelt. Tony Pipitone, NBC6 News.
Wow.
All right.
Wow. So look, okay.
It's a lot of unpack.
Here we go. So
Start from the beginning. Rewind it though, because like I said, we're gonna go back and forth. But
look, I'll rewind it.
Okay.
And I'm gonna turn the sound off, but we're gonna go through here and I'll talk about it. How about
Okay.
that? So I'll play it without the sound just so we can see it. So as they were saying, you can see the cones.
so stop it.
You see him speeding through the cones.
So what do the cones signify, former Officer Calhoun?
Construction.
Oh, and hazard. Now in driving ed 101, Mr. Calhoun,
Slow down.
What have you been taught when coming into a hazard or a construction zone?
Slow it down.
Okay.
So he's
okay.
already in a sports car,
Okay,
right?
Got you.
And so he's speeding through a construction area.
So has he broken the law?
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
For sure.
Okay.
He's broken the traffic violation.
He's in the
It's
wrong
a traffic
at
violation
this
so
point
far.
in time. He
He's
is in the wrong.
And in certain places, if
Okay.
you're, so they said he was doing 60 something in a
40. Yeah,
So
20 miles out.
Usually,
20
if
miles
you're
over.
15 to 20 over, it's a jailable offense in a lot of places.
Okay.
So the fact
Construction zone though.
and if it's a construction zone, sometimes the penalty is elevated, right?
So let me ask you this. Just even if you're not a police officer, if you get caught doing something that you probably shouldn't be doing, like speeding in the construction zone, what do you feel as if your manner should be or your attitude?
Not what this ninjas was.
Okay. You thinking I should be a little contrite or maybe like,
Man,
dang, I hope
this-
they,
This really spoke a lot to the attitude of Tyreke Hill too. And so like construction zone, he speeds through here. Okay, they stop him. So you're gonna see they light him up, and you see the cops. You don't slow down at all. You don't hit the brakes. Act like you care or you're cautious at all.
speed.
And so like he's still rolling fast enough to go by another checkpoint and stuff. And so now you got a couple officers on you, right? So they got him pulled over. And as a police officer, when you approach a vehicle that has tinted windows, it's automatically assumed that there's multiple people in the car because you got tinted windows you don't know.
Gotcha.
You don't want to
You can't-
underestimate.
It's almost like you have to go with the worst
Yep.
case
And, so,
scenario.
and
to
that's
a
what
certain
you're
extent.
called to all the time as
Okay.
police officers. Worst
Okay.
case scenarios. And if there's somebody who's fleeing or trying to get away or feel like they may have a warrant or something like that, tinted windows make it so that they have a leg up on you. And so I would recommend to anybody with tinted windows when you get pulled over to put your windows down so they can see in the
At
car.
least see
And
part
so,
of you in the car.
so this is why
Gotcha.
this was such a big deal where they were telling him, put your window down and stuff. And they were knocking on the window. And he puts the window down and immediately says,
Don't bang on my window.
don't be knocking on my window. And he's talking aggressively about it.
And
Why
from
you
what
not?
we saw, I don't think that they was banging on the window
Right.
in any kind of way.
Right. I think that was a reasonable knock. It was serious enough to say put the window down, but not disrespectful enough for him to have that reaction.
Attitude, right.
And so he's like,
Okay.
why you knocking on my window? And so he already put the window down, in an aggressive fashion, and they go back and forth. And the officer, I think the first officer was cool. The second officer, there's always usually a second officer. If there's two officers on the scene, the first officer is like communication. The second officer is like if things go bad,
I'm an enforcer.
He's hands on.
Yeah,
right.
got you.
And so that's what you saw
Good
here.
cop, bad cop.
Well, it's the same thing. They're like, no, keep your window down. Put your window back down. And they're telling him this. And he's in there doing whatever he's doing. All you see is shifting around.
So, and this is the thing that as we teach
And they didn't
our
know
kids,
who he was.
Right. And this is the thing I want people to understand as you teach your kids what the true definition of compliance is
Yes.
and what it means to be in compliance, or when somebody says you need to comply. Can you give me an example of what should be done at that said time?
What he should have done is he should have put his windows down immediately at the stop. He should have
Okay.
stopped a little sooner too, in my opinion.
Okay.
But put the windows down immediately so they can see who's in the car. So that way you disarm and you put them at ease. That there's nobody in the car. I'm not trying to reach for anything. I'm not trying to do anything shady, right? Most people will reach in the glove compartment to get their
Insurance or
and stuff
whatever.
like that. Do that once the windows are down and after you've talked to the officer. Don't try to prepare all of that stuff before they come. It makes it look like you're hiding things or that you're moving around and you're reaching
Something
for
away.
stuff. So
Got you.
wait till you stop. Put the windows all the way down if you have tinted windows. If you don't have tinted windows, at least put the window down so you can talk, right? And so when you engage with the officer, be polite because they deal with assholes all day and stuff. People, they go to the worst of the worst situations all day. So if you're nice, you talk right to an officer, they just may let you go with a warning. And so Tyreek doesn't do that, and I imagine he doesn't do that because he's a celebrity. Like he's like, they should know who I am. I'm in a rush.
Essence
I'm
of
late.
entitlement.
Yes, I'm late to where I'm going, and so he's driving fast in a sports car, and so he gets stopped. The second officer is telling him, we're not about to continue to play this game. Put that window down or I'm going to take you out of the car, which is protocol.
Now I'm about to say, can they do that? If you don't quote unquote
Comply, yeah.
they can then remove you from said vehicle.
So the way that it works, so he's stopped for a traffic violation, right?
Okay.
During traffic violations, like they typically don't get you out of the car unless they suspect that you may be reaching for something or that you could be dangerous.
You doing something suspect.
Yeah, or you're acting like Tyreek.
Yeah.
And so they don't know he's a Dolphin celebrity.
Right.
And they're a star player. And so they're like, hey, put this window down. We don't care if you got money, you driving this car. They don't know how you got it. You could have got it by any means. It's Miami. And so the guy, when he tells him to get out of the car, yeah, that was well within their right to do that, to make sure that he's not doing anything that's going to hurt them.
Okay.
And so he's like, okay, it's over. Get out of this car. We talked to you nice enough. You see how he had to pull on him twice? He's like, man, this dude's strong, though.
Now, from what I've been told, you want to pause that, of what I've heard, what he was doing was calling his agent at that point in time and letting him know, hey, I've got pulled over.
Yep.
You know, and I'm just saying, as a citizen,
You do that.
okay.
There's a time to do that. So, like,
But what I'm thinking is, shouldn't he have him on speakerphone or Bluetooth? So it's like, okay, he can literally hear everything that's going on. Even when I know with my car, when you shut it off, the Bluetooth will still be on unless you click the car completely off. So if he's doing it, if he's in compliance and doing what he's supposed to be doing, he can still allow his agent or whoever it is he's talking to hear what's going on.
it should have been this simple.
Okay.
They light him up. He pulls over, lets the windows down. They tell him you're doing 60 and a 40. He says, you know what, officer, I didn't realize I was going that fast. I'm Dolphins such and such receiver.
Identify yourself.
I'm headed to the game. I apologize.
Bingo.
Officer would have said,
and that's what I
license
said
and
earlier,
registration.
as far as and him being contrite, having that attitude, like I've done something wrong,
and he still
Let
didn't
me
want to
not
own it.
Still act like, well, y'all shouldn't be stopping me, or I shouldn't be inconvenienced. Yeah, like,
and so,
bro,
they can stop you from getting to the game altogether,
man.
And so he should have. They would have said license, registration, handed it over. When they go back to check him, you call your agent then, and you say, hey, I've been pulled over. I'm gonna be a little late.
Or I'm going to keep you on the phone
for my safety.
For my safety. If
Facts.
I feel threatened, or I just want to make sure that you can hear everything
what's going
that's going on.
And so that's how easy it should have gone.
Okay.
So they pull him out of the car, and they have him on the ground now. And one of the officers was noticeably more agitated. He's like, "Hey, we told you to pull over. You didn't listen. We told you to put the window down. You didn't listen." Now he's handling him aggressive. Got his knee in his back and that sort of thing. And all of that, I ain't gonna say that it's unnecessary, but it's to keep control of him and stuff. But it's also to show him like that you're not in control here.
Right.
And so then they're trying to sit him on the curb. This is typical when you talk about how officers want to degrade people. So like as a black person, being sat on the curb is reminiscent of a lot of the same old treatment that they used to do to us back in the day. And so for a lot of us, it's degrading. And we don't want to comply to do that. And this is what they're doing to him because he acted a fool while he was in the car. So now we got to treat you like this other version. And so now he's saying, man, I just had knee surgery. He going to sit him down anyway. The officer that was agitated, again, he's the hands-on guy. This first officer was trying to talk to him, trying to ease him down and that sort of thing. And again, he's like, I just had knee surgery. He act like he don't want to go.
And see, this is the part that, to a certain extent, gets me upset with Tyreek. I didn't even say gets upset, but it's like, bro, you can't start throwing out excuses in regards to why you not doing what you're supposed to do, especially an invalid, like, okay, you just had knee surgery, but you going to a game where you about to
score a touchdown because he did score.
Right. Your knee ain't the problem in the game, so why?
No.
And
again,
it's frustrating
as police officers, like you hear all the excuses and that sort of thing where people say that they're hurt and they're not. And so
just
they
try to get out of doing
try to
what
get
it
out
is
of it or to try to
you've been told to
delay.
do.
Yeah. And I get why he was trying to delay it because again, it's degrading as a black man to be sat on the curb in handcuffs.
But as a black man, at what point though are we really gonna start truly in these types of situations? I'm gonna say take accountability for what we've done wrong.
Right.
And I'm not saying he brought this on himself, but it's like, again, this could have went so many different ways if he just acknowledged
had a different attitude
that he was speeding.
Now if it was something like 2 to 5 over the limit,
right?
And you debate about it.
When you could clearly see
he was doing 69.
In the video, and this is the thing too. Again, as not just as a black man, this is where the human part comes into you, knowing the situations where people have been hurt or killed because somebody being reckless on the road. When you see something like that, you see somebody speeding, it's like you don't care what color they are. Like, hey man, police, somebody
have some type of regard for other people.
Yeah, what is this dude doing? And it's like, okay,
yeah.
When that person hits somebody or causes an accident because the police officer just let them go by, and you're like, well, where was the police at in this situation? Or you know what I'm saying? They not doing their job, so it's like
they did all the right stuff, pulling him over.
Yeah.
So they sit him on the curb. And that sort of thing. He's complaining about his knee and that sort of thing. They still don't know who he is. And that sort of thing. They don't know he is an athlete.
Right.
And so him mentioning that his knee is hurting. Right here they say, you know who that is? He's like, that's Tyreke Hill. And by this time, his teammates are coming. And so like the teammates are doing what they do in the league. If one of your brothers
is down or in trouble,
you come to aid
rescue.
Him.
Right.
And so that mentality for this instance should stay on the field.
And again, and I'm glad you brought that up because I was like, here again is a situation where it's like you teach your kids this because I'm like, all of this is teachable moments, how good intentions can still lead to bad results.
Yep.
It's like, it don't matter how good your intentions are, if you're not, I ain't gonna say in the right, but if what you doing is not truly what you're supposed to be doing, it don't matter.
And you know, his teammates are coming to his aid. I imagine
stay on the field.
Keep it on the field, right? Keep it on the field, like especially when you talk about the police, right? And so they're coming to try to aid him, right? And like mind you, like you got dudes that's coming up, like even the smallest NFL players are giants to regular people.
Look at Jonnu Smith. He's a receiver. He's got at least 4 inches on this police officer.
And there's another dude in the car.
Another one.
Right? And so when you see this as a regular sized person, yeah, it's a reason for concern.
It can be alarming. It can be alarming. And not to mention, like you said, they showed the other video with Calais Campbell. Calais Campbell's like 6'6", 300-something pounds. And it's like, Bro, you intimidating just
standing around
standing
here. There he is. Look at this big John Henry looking dude.
Come on, bro.
And so like he's way bigger than those guys.
And he was very calm.
It don't even matter.
Then unassuming, like you said, I don't think anything he said or he was doing was coming off as aggressive or
it don't
imposing.
even matter.
But
this
like
big
said,
John Coffee looking dude.
It don't matter but he's got all the best intentions in the world. He's trying to help his buddy out, Josh.
As a police officer, if I see this big dude coming on scene, I'm hitting him with everything I can throw at him. I'm like, you're impeding with my investigation, sir. Keep your distance. If you don't, I'm tasing you.
Oh man,
that sort of thing. Like it's like all of these people come into the scene, and you talk about large people. Like it's an issue. It poses a serious risk.
Yeah.
So it's like you have to address the stuff with Tyreek, and then all of his teammates that are coming that are oversized men and that sort of thing. And then you find out that these are athletes. Like they used to pushing grown people around.
Yeah.
That sort of thing. You're like, your job is to, as a peace officer.
Calais Cable, defensive tackle, he takes on double teams
all the time
for a living. And I'm talking about double teams from other 300-pound
guys.
men.
So to throw around 3 to 4 regular sized guys is like throwing around 2 NFL guys. And so yeah, they like put him in cuffs
immediately.
And so when somebody goes into handcuffs, it's like they slapping the bracelets on him fast.
Man,
look how fast that
is. His
see
fingers
that?
had to twitch. He was like, "No, we can't mess around and miss out on this."
Yeah, fast. They put those cuffs on him so fast, and so like that is a officer safety issue. And so what they do is they put people in handcuffs. It's not that they're under arrest,
right,
but they're being detained so they can control the situation.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what we see right here. Yeah, justifiably put 2 sets on him, and he's on the ground. He's so big he can't even sit down good. Look at him. He had to take a knee. Now this is where the video gets crazy to me. So Tyreek's sitting down. His teammates come to his aid. They put one of his teammates in handcuffs. And then they, 20 minutes, I think they said, into the stop, they now have
some higher ups on the scene. Mm-hmm. And his agent, the one Drew Rosenhaus, we kept saying,
that's who called.
Call Drew.
He called everybody, say, hey, Tyreek's pulled over.
Well,
now, this
also,
is where the scenario changed.
He called Miami Dolphins security as well to let them know what's going on.
This is where it changed.
His agent, and he's called Miami Dolphins security.
Yep. This is where it changed, I feel like, for the worse. Because I think the precedence that they're setting here is wrong. So you have admin from the team that are now coming to his aid to say he needs to be in this game tonight.
Right.
You can't take him to jail even though he did not act right.
Right. Even though he's broken the law.
He broke the law first, speeding through the area where he was speeding. He was doing at least 15 over, which, like I said, most places is a jailable offense because it's considered reckless driving. So then he's pulled over. He doesn't talk right to the officers. They're trying to get him to put his window down for their safety.
Let's clean this up. Not so much talk right to the officers. He came with an aggressive tone.
Yeah. And so, like,
I don't want people to think
I ain't even gonna say that an aggressive tone is wrong, but the aggressive tone is only for situations where you're not wrong.
Right.
You know, where the situation is 50-50.
50, right. And it's like,
in this situation, he was
just
obviously
I can
wrong.
have an attitude. It's like, why is you stopping me? I haven't done anything.
Right. And so this wasn't that.
Not at all.
This wasn't that.
And I think that's the problem, because it's like, you know, like you said, they setting the precedence and coming to his aid when he was in the wrong from the beginning.
He was. And so, you know, they come to the scene, they talk to all the officers and that sort of thing. They're like, this Tyreke Hill, this is so-and-so. You see him patting on them and stuff now.
That's Drew in the white shirt. That's his agent, Drew Rosenhaus.
And so, yeah, Drew did his job. He's about to get a bonus. And so they got everybody to the scene to get them, say within a matter of minutes, they were all out of handcuffs, that sort of thing. And so somebody talked to the police department. Mm-hmm. And it leads me to think about, like, what is at risk if these guys don't make it to the game? And so then, like, you and I, we both place bets on a betting app that we not going to name because they ain't give us no money.
Not yet, no sponsorship.
So we'll name you whenever we start getting sponsorship money. And
FD.
So, right. And whoever come first is who get named.
DK.
Right?
G.
You know? So y'all know where to find us.
Right.
But we place bets. And so when you place a bet on a game, you know that you place bets on specific players, scoring touchdowns or yardage,
parlays,
all that sort of stuff. And so if those key players that people have already placed bets on get arrested on the way to the stadium,
you're messing up the
you mess
church's
up the money. Right? You mess up the money. And so that's what was riding on this. So when you had all these higher ups coming from the Dolphins team talking about, nah, you need to let these guys go, and that sort of thing, like you're setting a precedence that these players are untouchable, even when they break the law, even when they're not the best examples and role models. And so that's the precedence that's being set. And so with them coming and doing it like that, I don't think it was right. Like I said, I think the officers operated within their rights to operate. They were maybe just slightly aggressive because of his tone, which, like I said, is justifiable. Had he talked right, I think they would have acted a little bit better, and it could have gone without him being handcuffed on the ground and having to call anybody. It would have been a simple ticket maybe, or maybe even a verbal warning or a written warning. But he took it there. Okay. And so everybody else got involved. They made the news. Now, he went to the game.
And balled out.
Balled out. His celebration was like he was in handcuffs.
And Jalen Waddle came behind him with the imaginary key and unlocked the handcuffs.
That is very typical of America. When you have money, you don't answer to the same
not at all
consequences.
It's a whole different.
You don't
set
play
of
the
rules.
same game as everybody else.
It's levels to this.
It's levels to this.
It's levels to this.
Yeah, I wish it would have been a little bit different. I wish Tyreek would have been a better role model in this situation.
I was like, that's the only thing as far as just, dude, you gotta be a little more humble when you know you in the wrong. That's all.
That's it.
Like nobody's perfect. Everybody makes mistakes, but it's like the attitude that you still carry as if, who are you to question me after I've done something I know I shouldn't have been doing?
Facts. Accountability.
That's
accountability.
That's not good.
And so, this is one situation that's happened. And so, don't forget to get my book, Inside the Black and White. I want to hear from y'all. Let me know what y'all think about it. Drop it in the comments too, like what you think about what we talked about today.
Hit the like button as well.
Hit that like, share, subscribe. Tell some people about us. We're going to keep coming with these hot topics. We want to hear from y'all what you feel like is a hot topic for us to talk about. Like a few episodes ago, we heard from the Queens. And so, let's hear from some of y'all.
Oh, I got another one to share with them. And this is, I'm going to say, a hot topic.
Okay.
In watching a lot of these videos in regards to this Tyreek situation, reading some of the comments, I've come across this movement, I believe, of people in America, black people in America, labeling themselves FBA, Foundational Black Americans.
Right.
And the reason that it came up in this situation is because in the video, Tyreek was, yelling, "I'm just a black man with a nice car." And one of the officers happens to be Cuban, and he was like, "I'm brown too as well. Like, don't try to throw that race card out." And a lot of the comments was talking about the difference between black and brown. And then also it got splintered into the difference between black Americans, quote unquote, and people that are either from the Caribbean or Africa. And it's like, I'm gonna say what's the difference? It's like, if we're black, why is so much division? Because there was the FBA group that I saw, a lot of their comments was just talking about how, don't try to assimilate yourself as far as the Cuban America because you brown, this and this and that. And I'm just like, okay, when did this become a movement? And I'm like, please, give me some details. So that's why we are putting it out there to you guys, as far as give us some information on what do you know about, this FBA movement, and what does it sound, or I'm not gonna say what does it sound like, what do you take of it?
Give us your opinion. And if we get feedback from enough people, we'll shoot an episode. You might even get invited on the show.
Might answer some questions.
All right. Well, this has been another good episode of King's Chat.
Sir.
And so thank y'all for tuning in. Again, make sure you hit that like, share, and subscribe button. And until the next time, this has been King's Chat.